Claus with Bowser Hobby.
Welcome to the 2022 Pat and Ken at the Holiday Show. I'm Pat McDonald, the Uber critic.
And I'm Ken Candela, the movie wag. Pat, exactly what's with the beard and the Santa attire?
Well, I have to say, Ken, last year a guy fell off our roof and I found this card on him. So I think I'm going through the Santa Claus.
Let me ask a question. Can you speak Dutch?
Yeah. So anyway, there is a codicil on this. It says if we snap our fingers like the Addams Family TV opening, I can go back to normal. So let's try
let's give it a shot.
It worked. I'm back, Ken, and we're back.
You're back
in 2022. That was a terrible bit. So anyway, Ken, the reason I brought up the Addams Family is our first review.
That's
and what
right.
would that be?
It's the Addams Family Christmas. You know, I always loved the Addams Family, especially the sitcom from the 60s. I think it's, they didn't have a lot to draw from. So these interpretations of the characters really were the kind of the first go around for actors to produce on screen.
Well, it was a TV show also, Ken, that gave them their names because Charles Addams had never given them names.
So the casting was excellent. You had John Astin as Gomez. You had Carolyn Jones, I believe, as Morticia. Jackie Coogan, the kid,
old child actor.
Uncle Fester. Grandmama was Blossom Rock, was her name. Real quick bit of trivia. She was actually Jeanette MacDonald, the old actress from the 30s and 40s singer. They were sisters.
Oh, okay. The great Ted Cassidy, as you rang, lurch. And now Wednesday Addams is huge again. She has her own show.
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix? I'm not even sure.
It's on Netflix, yeah.
All right.
But anyway, getting back to the episode, it was a Christmas episode. And the basic premise is that Pugsley and Wednesday are told by a neighbor that Santa Claus does not exist.
Don't tell us it came from Santa Claus.
And why not?
Because Mr. Thompson next door said there is no such thing as Santa Claus.
Remember, children, it was old Thompson told you there weren't any witches on Halloween.
And we produced a beautiful witch for you, Aunt Sin.
But she was a relative.
They're figuring out, well, how can we, these kids have to, have a Santa show up. And so they decide Uncle Fester, kind of being the plumpest at this point, will don his gay apparel. And he will come down the chimney and he will surprise the kids and restore their faith in the existence of Santa Claus.
That reminds me, shouldn't Fester be here by now?
Never fear, darling. Uncle Fester is always dependable.
So this was the Addams Family version of a Christmas, and of course, very original, just like the series always was.
Right. Right.
It's the first series that there's really sex on when you think about it. Because
he had the hots for her.
Yes, every time she speaks French, he wants to attack her.
Merci.
That was French.
Darling, please, not on the ladder.
And it was pretty wild, even as a kid, I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy.
This is hot. And I didn't even know what hot was yet.
Right, exactly.
But, so they're waiting for Santa to show up, and Uncle Fester's still stuck, and the kids build a fire in the fireplace. And they show Uncle Fester on the roof, and the smoke is coming up, and he's just, he's flailing and wailing. And Gomez decides, well, he's going to dress up as Santa. And unbeknownst to him, Morticia is going to dress up as Santa.
Right.
Grandmama is going to dress up as Santa. Lurch is going to dress up as Santa. And Cousin It.
My favorite.
Cousin cousin It?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, just he was my favorite Santa Claus.
That isn't Cousin It. Santa shrunk again.
But there was also a great bit with Gomez going to buy the outfit.
But if you're thinking of buying this suit, it's not for sale.
Of course not. I just want to rent it for a while. How much would you take?
25?
That's fair enough. 25,000.
And then the next
Gomez,
scene, he's in Gomez clothes ringing the bell,
Right.
which I love.
Right.
And also, too, that was one of the things about the Addams family that I'd forgotten about. They were fabulously wealthy, and they just didn't even concern themselves with money. So eventually somebody would get paid off.
Thank you, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester? Who's he?
That's you. And that's Mother, and that's Father, and that's Grandma, and that's Lurch, and that's Cousin It.
The jig's up!
Well, think about this too. They're always contemporary because it was not a time or place thing. They were just this family, this weird family, this eccentric family. And basically, and all the other iterations of the Addams family owe a debt of gratitude to that show. It works on an adult level and on a kid's level too, which is another extraordinary thing about that show.
The thing about the shows, when you watch it and the stories were so well crafted, there was nothing wasted in it. Every scene was so well paced and well written and well acted that it's like a lot of the old movies from the glory days of Hollywood. You'll never replicate that, and we're just lucky that we've got them and they're still around, that we can watch them on YouTube.
All right, your Christmas bell rating for the Addams family.
I mean, I'm going to give it a full solid 4 bells.
Wow.
Ding, 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 ding. Again, well acted, well written.
Well, I like it because you rarely see Grandmama get any lines.
What are you staring at? Didn't you ever see me before?
Either that's Grandmama or Santa Claus is a woman.
Either that or Grandmama's a man.
But I'm going to go I'm going to go 3.5 out of 4 bells for the Addams Family Christmas episode.
In our next installment of Pat and Ken at the Holidays 2022 edition, we're going to be looking at a kind of a nostalgic treatment of, and I believe it was on television back in the 80s, I think. It's the best Christmas pageant ever. That's next on Pat and Ken at the Holidays.
Starring Loretta Swit.
Hot Lips.